Hi and welcome to this week's Life Lessons teaching. It's great to be back with you all. This week is part 1 of our Law of Attraction mini-series, and I'm here with David, who is a Taoist monk, Law of Attraction coach and therapist, who is going to share some ancient Taoist wisdom on how you can best work with the Law of Attraction. And in today's teaching, we're going to be looking at alignment and how you can align with the universe as part of your Law of Attraction work. Okay, David, so let's get straight to the point. What does aligning with the universe mean from a Taoist perspective?
Okay, so I can see me using the analogy of water and rivers and streams a lot in this video. So when we're talking about alignment, we're talking about the alignment of our chi energy. So the next question could be, what is chi energy? What is this chi energy? Well, it's this life force that goes through everything in the universe. And it's something that's you share with everything, with everyone. And this is when we talk about emotional feelings. This is what's demonstrating to you when the emotional feelings are in balance, aligned, green light feelings, happiness, joy, flow, flourishing, love, confidence. When they're misaligned, when that emotional energy is misaligned, anguish, anxiety, depression, jealousy, temper, and all of these other things. So the alignment is being aligned in the flow of that universal energy of chi.
Okay, so what you're saying is it's a good thing for us. So the universe we have a flow of chi energy. Everything has a flow of chi energy, including the whole universe and cosmos. And that it is a good thing or a good aspiration to want to be aligned, our flow of chi energy to be aligned with the flow of chi energy of the universe.
Yes, so we're living in the flow, and this is what we're always talking about. That's what Wu Wei means, effortless effort, living in your flow, flowing with the energy, not pushing and fighting against the energy. And when we talk in our normal videos about the red light feelings, when you do the golden thread and you go down and what we call the life lesson will always infer that you're not going with the flow, you're going against the flow, and you need to learn the lesson to turn your canoe around and go with the flow.
Okay, and so for anyone who's new to our videos, the golden thread and the golden thread process is our unique therapy model that we teach to help you live in balance and flow and Wu Wei. And we've got a whole playlist on golden thread process videos, and I will put a link to that above for you. So David, how does being in our flow and being aligned with the flow impact the law of attraction? How is it related to the law of attraction?
So let's talk a few moments on the law of attraction. I like the title. I actually use the title. For those of you who study the law of attraction, you know this came 25 years, 30 years maybe now, through a book called The Secret. Well worth having a look at the book, and there was also a film about it. The problem with all labels is, although I like it and it seems to connect to a lot of people, this idea about the law of attraction, like the law of gravity, and as I say, I use it as well, it can also be misleading. And when I was studying in China, when I first came across this concept that I'm going to share with you today, it amazed me when I was studying it. I kept on thinking to myself, this is very much like the law of attraction. This is similar to the law of attraction. So the Taoist teaching is Yi Dao, Qi Dao. Yi, what does Yi mean? Yi means your intention, the direction of your travel, where you're heading towards, where you've plugged in your sat nav. Dao means the way, the flow, the path. So the path of your intention, the flow of your intention, Yi Dao, Qi Dao. Qi is what we've just talked about. The life force energy that's going through the cosmos. This spiritual energy that defines you. So Yi Dao, the way of your intention, Yi Dao defines the way of the life force. As you think, so shall you be. And then I think a clearer definition of the law of attraction could be the law of intention. But so many people have cooked into the law of attraction, we couldn't change that energy now. So I think it's quite good to use the law of attraction, but to make sure you're understanding what you're talking about. And when I'm working with clients, we have the discussion because they get very misled on what attraction actually means.
Because I think, you've hit upon such a fundamental point there. And when we say attraction, we mean it's almost like we have this idea that we're going to magnetize stuff towards us. We're going to attract stuff towards us in some sort of positive, manipulative way, essentially by doing whatever we need to do, X, Y, and Z, in terms of law of attraction work. But when we swap out that word attraction for intention, that then puts much more focus on how we are, what we're doing, and less focus on what the other thing, how external forces work. It's good in that it puts self-responsibility onto us, and it's almost saying, then we'll let the universe do its bit. It's more like we have to, as you say, align with the universe. It's not about the universe aligning with us. It's not about other people aligning with. It's not about other people being magnetized to us.
And that's why the analogy of the river is such a good analogy, because the river is flowing and we're on this river. And in this river, I can tell you, there's rocks, there's waterfalls, there's beautiful places, sunsets, there's meandering flow of the river, there's rapids, there's crocodiles, there's tricky places, but we're on this river and the river has a flow. And this is why the analogy of the river is such good. That's like the flow of chi energy. Can you see the flow? Well, you can see the water moving, but there's an energy in that movement of water. And if you've ever stood by a waterfall or rapids, can you feel that force of the water? And that's the chi energy. And that's why that analogy of water is such a good analogy in Taoism. And as you said, Alex, and it's quite right, when I speak to clients and they've read The Secret and they've listened to other practitioners, they do things like, well, if you write out a check for £1 million, have you heard this one? If you write out a check for £1 million, write it to yourself, put it in your handbag, then you'll attract £1 million. Well, I don't think it works like that. See, you have to have an intention about if £1 million is important for you. My first question to that client would be, why is £1 million important to you? Because you've got to get down to the intention, what it is that you're looking for. Where's your point of reference? Where's your sat-nav? Where's your roadmap, if you like? And that's what intention is. Can I just say about intention? What's so important about intention is about having that overall intention. And I don't like the word goal, because the goal kind of focuses you a lot more. Intention is more like a gentle flow, because sometimes you have to go off course to get back onto course. And then you chunk it down from the macro intention, you come down to the micro intention.
And we're going to be doing next week's teaching on intention and intention point, and really drilling down on the detail on how you do that intention work and get that intention crystal clear and authentic for you. But if that's about what we're doing within ourselves, and then it's about aligning with the universe, going with the flow or going against the flow. So this flow is happening all the time.
All the time.
It doesn't stop.
So that's a great teaching. The law of attraction never stops. It's working all of the time. It doesn't only work when you wake up in the morning and go, wow, I feel great. Isn't it going to be a great day?
Yeah.
Isn't everything going to be... It works just as well when you wake up in the morning and feel, oh dear, today's going to be terrible. It's still working.
Yeah.
And it's your intention on that day.
And so that, again, is a misunderstanding when people say, oh, you're stopping the law of attraction from happening. No, whatever you do has a vibration. That vibration is either going to be aligned with the flow of the universe, which we're saying is a great thing to be in that universal flow because you are part of the universe. Your natural, authentic way is to be in that flow of the universe. Or what you may do, what you may think, what you may believe, what your intention is may be misaligned with the flow of the universe.
Absolutely.
But the law of attraction is still going to work both ways.
Both ways.
So the outcome of aligning with the universe and being in the natural flow of the universe and ourselves is what?
It's green light feelings. Happiness, joy, love, confidence, being in your flow, flourishing. All these teachings, when you get down to it, when you get down to the life lesson, is about you flourishing, is about you living naturally, is about you reaching your potential. That's absolutely unique to you, authentic just to you. There is no one else in the cosmos like you. This path that you're walking on, I would like it to be the path of the Tao, the natural path, the path that's easy for you, that's in your flow, that's effortless effort. When you're not pushing, you're not fighting, you're not resisting, and you're not being against this natural, organic flow of the chi energy.
And so the signs that we are not in the flow on the flip side are
Red lights, anxiety, depression, panic, self-sabotaging, wanting to be perfect. How about that one? I want to be perfect. Wanting to know the future. I'm not going to budge until I'm sure of what's going to happen around the corner. I don't like living, here's one I heard yesterday. I don't like living in the unknown. I'm sorry. The way of the universe, the way of flow is we all live in the unknown. This is the unknown. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, to me or to you. We live in this unknown. And when you resist that, when you don't go with that flow, you are now not going with the law of attraction. You are creating a kind of a whirlpool, an eddy, a dis-ease, if you like, because you're fighting against the flow. See the river's flowing and you're going, whoa, I don't like this river flowing. Let me go against it. Well, of course, you can turn the canoe around and paddle like crazy, but you're going against the flow. You're not going with the attraction. You're making life more difficult for yourself. You're creating those red light feelings that we talk about every week.
So when we hold faulty, inauthentic beliefs, which are misaligned with, say, universal truths. So two examples you've given there, David, is that the life can be controlled and life can be known. Therefore, I'm going to try and manipulate and control my whole life and everyone else's life so that there's no unknowns or uncertainty or unforeseen issues. That is going against the flow. That is paddling your canoe and your life and all your energy and hard work upstream, and it will never work. So,
well, I'm smiling because some of my clients are they wear this badge and they go, well, I'm a control freak. Well, okay. You're now spending your life going against the flow. Here's when people say, what do you mean by life lesson? Here's a life lesson. You can spend your life, no one can stop you. I can't stop you, but I will guarantee you, you are going against the flow, against the attraction. Then you find out things don't work out for me. My guys say, the universe is against me. The universe is, why is such a hardship? Everything is such a hardship. Why do these bad things always happen to me? It's always a nightmare. I'm always fighting people. And this is because you're going against the flow.
And so the fundamental misunderstanding there is basically making yourself out to be the victim of universal forces, when the universe is not against you. In fact, the universe is not for you.
No,
the universe just
the
is,
universe.
And that we have that choice to paddle our canoe in the flow, with the flow, or paddle it in the wrong direction and work really hard and then start blaming other people, the universe, life, for why life is really hard and challenging for us.
Exactly. And that's why, although I do like the law of attraction, because I think it's a catchy title that people seem to like, it can be misunderstood. Because a lot of my clients, when we start to do this work, it is almost the universe is going to change to them. No, you have to change to the universe. That's the key. That's the teaching. The universe is. It's like, I don't know, a bird not wanting to flap its wings and saying, well, I'm a bird, I should fly, shouldn't I? The universe should lift me up and fly me and I should be flying. Or a fish saying, I'm going to swim against the current. The universe is the universe. You have to, this is why it's a spiritual teaching. You have to understand the flow of the universe and then align what this teaching is about. Align to that flow. And that's learning the life lessons.
And so with the example of thinking that life and everything and other people can be controlled and known, that takes you upstream in a hard struggle. But if you accept the universal teaching that, as you say, life is full of uncertainty, full of unknowns, full of things that we don't necessarily expect or want to happen. Because again, that's a misunderstanding, that people think, okay, so I'm now aligned with the flow. I've done all this work. I'm flowing downstream in the river of life with the flow of the chi energy of the universe. But David, kind of unwanted things are still happening in my life. I thought when I aligned that everything was going to be great and good and shiny and rosy.
Well, that's why the river analogy works, because now you're flowing down the river. Now you're in control. Now your canoe is nicely balanced. Now you're looking ahead. There's still rocks. There's still the same crocodiles. But now, because you're aligned, you can see these rocks way in the distance.
Yeah.
You can see when the crocodiles slip in the water. You can now guide your canoe in Wu Wei. That's why Wu Wei moves like this. Wu Wei isn't set. Wu Wei is always moving, flowing, flexible, authentic. You're in your flow.
Yeah.
You are flourishing in your flow. You're going with things, not fighting against it all of the time.
And I guess also, if we accept the universal principle that there will be boulders in our stream of life, and in a way that's how we learn and grow, by encountering these unexpected, often unwanted at the time boulders, we learn how to transform and be flexible and maneuver around them. And because we are in that flow, we're in alignment with the universe, we have the energy to be creative, to think flexibly, to be responsive, to see issues when they are several steps ahead, as you say, see ahead a little bit further, because we're not wasting all our energy trying to go upstream with holding on to lies within our belief system that everything can be controlled, that there shouldn't be any problems, that I should be perfect. Or the lies that we talk about, I'm not good enough, I can't cope, or I can't manage, or I'm unlovable. Because they are, I guess they're the beliefs that paddle us back in the wrong direction.
Well, they are, because just think of one of those. I'm not good enough. I mean, come on, that's getting in your canoe and saying, well, I'm not good enough to paddle this canoe. The river's not good enough for me. It's not a nice day. Look how bad, all the crocodiles down there. You're always looking for issues and problems. And then guess what? This is when the law of attraction, guess what? You see more issues and problems. If you're focusing on problems, you see more problems. You don't see the wider picture. What we talk about, opening the perception, changing, clearing your view, rather than seeing everything through a kind of a pinhole, the universe is such an amazing place. You are so blessed to live in this universe. And once you can open your eyes and clear all the dark and see all the options that you've got, this is now the law of attraction, because this aligns you to all of the choices that you can make. Coming down this river, you could go that way, you could go this way, you could go this way. You are making choices all of the time. Here's another law of attraction that I work with a lot of my clients: taking responsibility. Isn't this an important life lesson in the law of attraction? I find it difficult to take responsibility, David. You cannot live a life without taking responsibility. You're already in the canoe, you're already in the river, you're already going down. It's like you have to take responsibility. You can't get away from it, because if you hold up your hands, you're taking responsibility for holding up your hands. It's like that saying, I love this saying, not making a choice is making a choice. When you say, oh, I can't choose, you're making a choice to put your hands up and not to choose. That's still a choice. And these are the teachings of the law of attraction, or Yi Dao, Qi Dao, that I work with my clients. We're in the canoe, we're on the river, we're moving. How do we move? The grace we move in the balance, the harmony, the synchronicity, how we do that.
So going back to the Yi Dao, Qi Dao, your Yi intention, if your intention is related to a belief that you shouldn't have to or don't want to take self-responsibility, if your intention is fully related to a belief that life should be known, if your intention is related to a belief that you should be perfect, or other people should always do what you want, or other people should always love you, if your intention is that actually you believe you're not lovable, therefore everyone should treat you and disrespect you because you're not lovable, that sets the direction of your energy, your vibration. But contra to that, and what we're talking about, is if your intention is life is unknown and I'm happy to flow with it, and I can cope.
Thank goodness.
If your intention is I am lovable, I am divine, because that is the universal truth, then you are aligning with the universal truth and the flow of chi energy by believing to the core of you in that truth, and then you are following the flow of the universe.
And the teaching that we've done several videos on is oneness. I am at one with the universe. I can't get off this river. I can't suddenly step out of the river. The river is there. This is my life. This is my life journey. This is who I am. Let me live this to absolutely my full potential. Let me flourish in this life. You do not know the future. Thank goodness. I think life would be terrible if you knew the future, what was going to happen to you tomorrow, next week, next year, next 10 years' time. It would be terrible. You wouldn't be living in the now. And here's the life lessons again: to live and to explore the now, and to be the best that you can be right now, not the best in the world. The teaching that we use on this is what we call CCJ: comparing, criticizing, being judgmental. All of those are going against the flow. The universe doesn't judgmental. The universe doesn't compare you. The universe doesn't criticize you. It just moves on. If you make a mistake, it just moves on. And so when you go into what we call the human-centered mind, or the inner child, as Alex said, I'm not good enough. The universe, what you think the universe is sitting above you and looking over you saying, well, you're not good enough. I'm going to compare you with that person over there. The universe is just flowing. And that's what the law of attraction is so important, that you can just flow with that universe and just be in that flow and experience those green light feelings of peace, happiness, balance, harmony, to be the best that you can be, not the best in the world.
So taking it a step further, David, a lot of people say, well, if I do my bit to get my chi energy vibration right through the intention work that we're going to talk about in next week's video. And I'm then paddling my canoe in the universal flow of energy. I'm in Wu Wei. Does the universe then somehow come to meet me? Does the universe then give me something back in response to that? A lot of people talk about, is the universe like some sort of magical, mystical force? What is, other than the fact that life becomes easier, I live with more ease and I have experienced lots of green light feelings. Is there like any extra reward?
No. The reward is harmony and being in balance. The best description, when I was doing this work many, many years ago now, perhaps 25 years ago, and I was doing it with a professional musician. He was a conductor. And we were talking about this, and we was talking about understanding how to live your life in harmony, how to live in balance, and how to live with that ease. So this ease is a spiritual ease, but it also really affects your body, your thinking, how you sleep, how you eat, how you walk, every part of your life. And I was talking through this process because he came to me, he was a really talented musician, and he had this problem where when he was in the zone, he would work for weeks and weeks and weeks, not hardly sleeping. Then he produced this miraculous piece of work, but then he'd absolutely collapse. He'd have to go to bed for weeks and months, and he couldn't live a balanced life. And we were talking, I was explaining just like I'm doing now. And he told me something which I'm going to pass on to you. I didn't know this existed. And this is how I think about the law of attraction or the law of intention. He said, David, did you know that if we had a piano in this room and a tuning fork, if we hit the tuning fork and it vibrated on a note, it would excite the same note on the piano and they would harmonize together? Now, I never heard that. And so I didn't disbelieve him. But after he went, I went and did the research. And it's called sympathetic resonance. And that's how the universe is. The universe has got all of these different notes like strings on a piano. And we have to harmonize ours to those strings. And so when, as Alex said, when you're saying those lies, I'm not good enough, I can't cope, it's all too much for me, I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy, you're harmonizing with the wrong part of the river or the piano. When you go on to that self-sabotaging, when you go into perfection, when you lie to yourself, when you say things to yourself you wouldn't say to your physical child, what we call the dual belief system, you are then in disharmony. You are sending out a confused message. And so you get living in the confused part of the river. Then you get confusion because you're harmonizing with a different part. The first job in the law of attraction is to get your vibration right, is to be in your sweet spot, I call it. So you're producing those green lights. I can't guarantee you're not going to have problems, but I can guarantee you when you're in harmony, you will flow through those problems with ease, and they cease to become such big problems. They just become little bumps, little rapids on your river.
So when people talk about the law of attraction in terms of like, I want to have a great career, I want to have a big house, or I want to earn lots of money and things like that, or, essentially achieving the life of their dreams, whatever that may be, is what you're saying that if we are in the flow and alignment, if we are living in ease with clarity and like a laser focus of intention, then we are much more likely to achieve those things, rather than if we're paddling in the wrong direction because we're placing our energy, our vibration, all our efforts in the wrong place.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, as I said earlier, let's use one of those. I want to live in a big house. Now, My next question to that client would be the golden thread. Why? Why do you want to live in a big house? I want to drive a Ferrari. Why do you want to drive a Ferrari? I want to be a millionaire. Why do you want to be a millionaire? Because what you're doing then is you're looking back at the intention. What is the reason for that? And you have to get that intention correct, deep in your belief system, because then that balances up your energy and you're sending out that vibrational note that is going to point you down the part of the river that you want to be going to. If you want to live in a big house to show off to your friends, that's not aligned.
Or because you believe you're not good enough, therefore you've got to prove yourself.
Absolutely.
Again, that's based on a lie, and those are the lies which turn us in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now you're sending out the wrong note. Now you're going to be living in a different part of the river. You're going to be going down a different part of the river. You're going to be making it hard for yourself, or as you said, even going against the flow and fighting back against the river. So it's very important. That's why we teach the golden thread, getting your intention correctly. Because once you've got the intention, that's why we're going to devote a whole session on getting the intention. What is your intention? How do you get it? How do you maintain it? Very important, because that's sending out the vibration all of the time.
And so I guess when people say, David, I'm working really, 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 really hard doing all this law of attraction work, well, that's not, it doesn't matter how hard you work. It's not, the equation is not, I'm going to work really hard at the law of attraction work, doing all the affirmations, etc., of all the visualizations. Well, that doesn't equal a positive result, or that does not move you in the direction of your goals or dreams.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong, because they work very hard at these aspirations and all of these. But it's like, use my river analogy again. It's like I'm standing on the bank and watching you paddling like crazy against the river, and I'm going, turn the canoe around. And you're going, but I'm working really hard, David, I'm working really hard. But you're going against the flow. So just take a moment and ask, these aspirations, these things that you want, why do you want them? What is the core that's going on deep within you? Because you know this. And this is what's going to affect your law of attraction. Bringing that aligned. So when you're having, say, difficulty, when things aren't working quite right in your life, and you get this kind of resistance, I call it, it's kind of good to say, so what is this resistance showing me? What do I have to learn from this resistance? Here's the law of attraction teaching. What it's here. I can experience it. I can almost touch the resistance, and then to go past that. Why? Here's the golden thread. Why? And then you come down to the core reason that is the life lesson that needs to be changed.
And so I know a lot of people will be watching this video and say, okay, David, I'll buy into everything you're saying.
I hope you
do. So I want to pedal my canoe in the right direction, but you're not giving me the tools to do this. Well, actually, our whole channel, all of our life lesson teachings are to give you the tools, it's almost like not a case of how do I get into the flow, it's how do I stop paddling in the opposite direction? Right. Because as soon as you stop paddling in the opposite direction,
the canoe
through
turns,
lying to yourself, your natural way is to be aligned, is to be in the flow. So all of our videos on emotional health, on the golden thread process, on the inner child, that part of our mind that pulls us in the opposite direction because it's feeding us the lies. I'm not good enough. I can't cope. I can't manage. And I'm unlovable. They are all the things that we teach on all of our videos. So if you listen to them, go through our back catalogues and our playlists, you've got all the tools there to help you understand what's going on and how you can let go of the resistance to the flow so that you can naturally flow in that way.
Because that's what the red lights are. They're showing you're resisting the flow. And that's what finding the life lesson. What do I have to learn here? And many of my clients will ask, just as you ask, can you give me one tool? I'm understanding it now. Can you give me one tool? Let me give you one tool. Stop lying to yourself. Everything that goes through your head in your self-talk, that 3 a.m. mind, should be what you believe to be the truth. Everything that comes out of your mouth should be what you believe to be the truth. And here's a little test that we always say. When you hear that self-talk, what comes out of your mouth about yourself, would you say that to your physical child? And if you say, of course, I wouldn't say that to anybody else except me, now you're going against the flow. And this is not attracting the right things into your life. You are sending out the wrong vibe in your energy vibration. And that's where the work has to be done. Why are you holding on to those lies? Why are you comparing yourself? Do you compare yourself with others? Why do you criticize yourself? Do you think that really helps? Do you think that criticizing yourself really helps you to flow in your flow? Really? Of course, you know it doesn't. Why are you so judgmental about yourself and about others? Do you think that really puts you in your flow? Do you think that you are getting the best of your life when you're judgmental about yourself? Of course, you know this to be true. Then you have to, and people say it's not that easy, but you have to stop it. You have to stop it. If you're digging a hole and it doesn't work, stop it. If you're paddling your canoe against the current and you're tired, turn the canoe around. Stop paddling against the current. See what it is. See what the future holds. See what's around the next bend. We live in the unknown. You can't control other people. You can't control the future. And even if you knew what was going to happen is in the future, what does that mean? You're better equipped to deal with it. It's going to happen anyway. You know, so it's these very fundamental, basic, even sometimes simple. It's simplicity. It's the mind that complicates it. It's the inner child that complicates it. So, you know, this law of attraction is very simple. Very simple. What you think, what you say, how you live, that's what's going to live your life and attract things into your life.
Brilliant, David. And so just one final thing I wanted to touch on, because it is related to this, the universe and our relationship with the universe in this law of attraction, law of intention equation. And that is the idea of synchronicity, or I know the Taoist teaching you've mentioned before is about the cosmic helpers. So what is that? Because that kind of sounds, certainly cosmic helpers sounds like the universe comes in and helps you out, which is kind of not what you said doesn't happen.
Well, it's a translation, and one of the interesting things, because I'm not a natural Chinese speaker, but when I was in China trying to get to the teaching, I used to have to record it and then go back and then translate it. And Chinese is quite difficult to translate because it's very tonal. But I used to like some of these words, like the cosmic helpers. And the cosmic helpers, I think, is synchronicity. When you're aligned, when things are working and you're thinking right, have you noticed how things seem to drop into place? It is almost like the universe is helping you, it's giving you a helping hand. It's not, but I've always liked that term, the cosmic helpers, the synchronicity of when things just work out, and sometimes not work out the way that you expect them to work out, but things just drop into place. And that's what's meant by that teaching of the cosmic helpers. It's almost when you're aligned in the vibration, when your piano and your tuning fork are tuning, that sound is really nice, isn't it? When you're out of tune, it doesn't sound right. And that would be the cosmic helpers. You walking hand in hand. And these are all words that people don't like. I personally like the cosmic helpers, because I see it happening a lot as in the life. If you stick to what you believe, if you stick to your vibration, if you keep on living your truth, then it's almost like things come in and things that you didn't expect. The things that you expect don't happen. Then things that you don't expect, you think, oh, well, that was even better. I didn't expect that.
I mean, I think how I see it, David, is that following up from what you said earlier, that opportunities, people, things that come synchronize and come in, and we believe they're actually being sent especially to help us, like some sort of miracle that has happened because we've done something with the law of attraction. I guess my belief is that these opportunities, life is a place of opportunity. There are always people to help you if you're open to it. There are always situations that may present themselves which may immediately not seem right, but long term they may be right. They're always there all of the time. Yep. It's not like they weren't there and now they're there because I've done the law of attraction work. They are there all of the time. Yes. The universe just is. Situations just are. The universe is a place of abundance. What being aligned with the universe, being in the flow with the universe means for me is that I am more tuned in to appreciating. It's like I've taken my blinkers off and I can see everything there. I can see the abundance there. I can see the opportunities there. There's no miracle in that. They've always been there.
Well, that's why it's not supernatural. It's natural, and all you're doing, as I said earlier, rather than looking through a pinprick and seeing the world through a very narrow focus, you're widening your focus and you're seeing all the opportunity. And that sounds like something's helping you, because as one door closes, 6 doors open. You think, wow, I never thought of that. And how many times in your life when you've gone through what you thought was bad, but now you reflect back on it, and you think, well, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I wouldn't be here now without that. And that's what I would call the cosmic helpers, that synchronicity, that idea that something else will come up. It always will. That's why the lie, I can't cope. I never understand that. I just can't understand. David, I can't cope. I can't manage. And I always say the same thing. If you're going to book an appointment with me, I'll tell you what I'm going to say. You've always managed. You've managed right up until this point. And then they say, yes, but I haven't managed well. But that's you. That's because you're paddling up the wrong canal. Turn it around, and now you're managed with ease. Now you're managed with authenticity. Now you're managed in your flow. Now you'd be doing it effortless effort. You'll be going, but this will be just so easy for you. And this then is the synchronicity. You'll start to see opportunities, as Alex has just explained. Yeah. Those opportunities have always been there. Yeah. But you've been so focused on looking, it's like driving your car and looking in the rear view mirror and then saying, well, I didn't see that turning, because you wasn't looking for the turning. Yeah. And that's really what the cosmic helpers are. You are part of the cosmos. You are part of the oneness. You are amazing. You are amazing. I can't give you this potential that you have because you already have it. I can't take it away from you. It's whether you want to live to it or not. And there's the law of attraction. Living in your potential, following your intention, being the best that you can be. Never doubting yourself. There's another crazy thing. Just before we finish, doubting yourself. How crazy is that? How does that narrow your law of attention right down? Oh, I really doubt myself, David. Even the statement doesn't make sense. What part of you is doubting what part of you? It doesn't make sense. And all you're doing is you're restricting yourself. You are causing that resistance rather than opening yourself up to all the possibilities of what I call the cosmic helpers. The possibilities are numerous, and you'll start to understand that as you open and widen your gaze.
And I see this doubting of ourselves or doubting life as a pulling apart, as creating a greater misalignment with the universe rather than creating a greater alignment with the universe, which is what we're after. And I think in a way we've kind of completed the circle here, because synchronicity is not magical. It's not something we create. What synchronicity is essentially we are synchronizing with the universe, which is right back where we started, which is the alignment.
Exactly. Being in alignment with the universe. How do we know that? Don't lie. Everything that goes through your self-talk, everything that comes out of your mouth, you should believe it to be the truth. The little test is when you hear something, when you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning, when has that mind ever said to you, aren't you doing well? Don't you look great? I think you're going to have a wonderful day tomorrow. It's always giving you the resistance, and that's what you've got to control. That's what you've got to say, stop, this is nonsense. This is nonsense. And be with the flow. Don't listen to that chatter. And you've got to learn. And we've done so many videos on this because that's when you go out of alignment. When you start listening to that negative self-talk that we call the inner child, trying to control others, worrying about what other people say, trying to be perfect, trying to lift the bar higher and higher, trying to get everything the way you want it to. That's not how the universe works. You're missing all of the other opportunities that are there for you.
Brilliant. Thank you, David. Well, we've covered a lot of ground there, and I hope this teaching has resonated with you, connected to that truth within you. Please do comment below, share this video with anyone else who you think would benefit. Don't forget, next week's video is about intention and intention points. So it's another really powerful video. So if you'd like to work one-to-one with David on any of the law of attraction issues we've talked about today or in future episodes, David works by video call every week with clients all over the world, and I will put a link below to David's one-to-one sessions. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We produce new videos every week, and click the bell notifications button when you subscribe so you get a little email notification every time we publish. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.